Is your vagina broken? Don't worry. Me too. You're safe here.
Vagina, vagina, vagina.
Welcome to the Vaginismus vlog, a YouTube series where I rant, laugh, scream, and cry about my pelvic floor disorder, vaginismus, a term that I'm sure many of you are all too familiar with, unfortunately. But hey, we're all in this together. Hashtag HSM, hashtag team building exercise, and we're gonna get through it. Maybe we'll vagina. I'm just gonna off the jump automatically assume that everyone who's clicked on this video knows what vaginismus is, thinks they have vaginismus, or have, recently been diagnosed with vaginismus. If not, I don't know why you're here. You should go out and have sex, because that's something that you can do without feeling intense pain and blockage.
Don't be afraid to hit that block button.
Unless, you're one of those Christians that I've been reading about and you don't believe in that. In that case, amen. The dictionary defines vaginismus as an involuntary contraction or spasm of the pelvic floor muscles, making vaginal penetration painful, difficult, or impossible. Medical terms, definitions. I feel like there's really no need to get into specifics, because there are people out there who are doctors who can give you that information, who can give you the terms, who can, defy gravity medically, informatively. You know what I mean? And so I feel like this really needs to be a space where we just have fun and cope and laugh, because this shit sucks. And for me personally, having vaginismus, before I even knew what that term was, honestly, it sounds like a made up term, let's be so for real, let's be so honest, but before having that, I just remember feeling so defective and so broken and so just strange, trying to, be intimate with someone that you love or care about, and to feel as if, like, what the fuck is wrong with my body. And I think there's enough somber in that feeling alone, that feeling of shame, that feeling of awkwardness. That's sad enough. We don't need to, go to the medical term side of things, to the emotional term side of things. We already know that because we're experiencing it firsthand. So I think what I really want to do is, with this channel, is to just be fun, have fun, be kooky, take something that sucks fucking donkey butt, taking something that really sucks a rat's ass, and just doing our best to find community, find comfort, with one another, because we are strange little birds diagnosed with a disorder that I promise you no one has heard of. Let's get into some signs that you may be a vaginismus girly. For me personally, I know it's going to be similar to a lot of you out there. Couldn't insert a tampon. The main thing also is TMI, but like fingering myself, inserting a tampon, attempting to have sex. Every single time some kind of object was entering my cooter cat, it was like, I don't understand how you're gonna get it in there. Like, you're hitting something. There's like a wall there. There's something happening. Like, you're hitting a wall. Like, I just could not fathom the concept. You know about the hymen, where when you lose your virginity, your hymen breaks and all this. I'm like, my hymen is cement. Like, I don't know what's going on. So for the longest time, I was under the impression that, I just have like one of those like really thick hymens that is, it's really hard to kind of cross that hurdle. So that was the main sign for me, is just not being able to be penetrated, obviously. And then another huge sign for me was I could not insert a tampon. I couldn't even fathom when talking to my friends that they use tampons, because I'm like, how are you getting it in there? And they're like, we just put it in and it goes in. I said, it just goes in? What does that mean? Because I'm not experiencing that. So those are the main two indicators for me. If that's not something that you've experienced, some common indicators: tampon, hitting a wall like I mentioned, painful intercourse. You're most likely not having intercourse. It's so painful that that's not happening. So painful intercourse is an indicator. I would take it a step further and saying you're not even getting to the intercourse level. And then just like a muscle spasms, every single time you explore that area, it's like something is pushing you away or not allowing you to, go off the beaten path inside your pussy muscle. So those are the top indicators, and everything that I've read, all of the people that I've met who've had vaginismus, The main one is that tampon thing. Our pussies have stage fright, our pussies have stage fright. My friend, one of my best friends, Tolu, I was like explaining to her my pelvic floor disorder, and she goes, "Ha, your pussy has stage fright." And that's hilarious, but also, fuck that bitch. Anyways, I don't know what I'm allowed to say and not say on YouTube, and I guess we'll figure that out as this process goes. I probably should have done some more research about it, but I'm a victim of vaginismus, as we know, and so I feel like I should just be pampered for eternity because I've already, gone through so much, and I have so many added challenges that, a normal girl wouldn't face. So it is what it is. I've done all I can. But yeah, that was so funny. Our pussies have stage fright. Our pussies have stage fright. Out of the ramble of things that I mentioned and random of symptoms that I threw out there, if you have like 2 or more of those, it's most likely that you probably have vaginismus. But again, what the fuck do I know? This is a bit of a segue, but I believe in God, but I don't like subscribe to any institutionalized religion. If I had to pick, I'd say Christian, but I think Christians are batshit crazy. People who are just overly religious, I feel like they just don't have a personality. I'm so sorry if that's offensive to any person, whatever. But I say that to say, so a huge part of the reason that I thought I couldn't have sex is because I thought God was sabotaging me to uphold this belief that, you shouldn't have sex until marriage and just those basic traditional values. So I, for a long time, was like, oh, God is purposely not allowing me to do this thing because it's against the book of God law. And so for a very long time, I felt a sense of shame around sex. I felt as if sex was something to be condemned, and because it was so bad, I was cursed to literally not do the action. That may resonate with somebody, it may not, but I just wanted to add that in there because from just things that I've heard through word of mouth and that I talked to my physical therapist about, it's this idea that people who have vaginismus have some kind of sexual trauma, whether it's like molestation or things like that, tough things to talk about like that, or whether it's being shame bound. So I do genuinely believe that I got this disorder just out of pure fear of sex, what sex is, what sex represented, and all those things being something not of the Lord. Hallelujah, amen. And so that's also something to think about. Just your body is physically tensing up at the act of doing this activity that causes so much shame. Yeah, let's talk about confirming your suspicions and your belief that you may or may not have vaginismus. I, for the longest time, was just having failed attempts at sex. I got my well woman's exam when I was 19. I don't know what age you're supposed to get that, but I feel like 19 is like a late bloomer for your well woman's exam, but that also could be wrong. But I was a late bloomer in everything. I got my period at like 15, which is really late. So a lot of the things that I've done is delayed. I am 23. I lost my virginity at 21. I got my well woman's exam at 19. I attempted my first time at having sex at 17, did not actually successfully have sex until 21 due to this pelvic floor disorder that we all know about. That's the whole point why we're here. So I knew that I had vaginismus when I was going to get my well woman's exams. This includes a pap smear. What a pap smear is, it's a screening a procedure that checks for cancerous cells in your cervix. So they take like a little tube and they stick it into your vagina. Prior to me getting my pap smear and getting my exam, I remember being in the car talking to my mom, and I'm like, Mom, you're saying that they're sticking like, a plastic tube, tongs, whatever it is, into my vagina? I don't know that's gonna work because I've never been able to get anything inside my vagina. And my mom is just like not sure what I mean. She just did, she was, prior to me getting diagnosed with this, had no idea what vaginismus was either. So me and my mom are very, very close. I talk to her about everything, and I'm just like, Mom, I'm not having sex. I want to, but girl, I can't. So things like that, and like telling her about all these things, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get this well woman's exam. Nothing can enter my cooch. Nothing. I just could not fathom this idea of someone doing an examination where they were inserting anything, because I just knew it wouldn't work. So I get there and I'm talking to, what are they called? lady doctors, primary care, no, I have to go to somebody else. OBGYN, girl, I'm not a doctor. So she's about to perform the exam, and I'm letting her know, I'm just like, hey, I don't know how you're gonna like get it in there or whatever. She's like, oh, we'll just take it slow, like just remember to breathe. Like everyone always struggles with this, but as long as you breathe, breathe. If you're depressed, meditate. So she goes to put it in, fully doesn't go in. It's like hitting a wall. Back to those symptoms if you think you have it, just this idea of something going in and it's hitting a wall. So she goes to stick it in. Obviously it doesn't go in. She goes to take a toothpick and she's like, let's try this. The toothpick this small, the toothpick did not go in. So she was like, oh, have you ever been treated for like any pelvic floor disorders or anything like that? She goes, do you possibly have a vaginismus? And I'm like, vaginismus? You just made that word up. So then, long story short, I was then referred to a physical therapist who specializes in the pelvic floor, and then I will make a whole nother video of, physical therapy for vaginismus, but it helped my vaginismus. I am now able to have sex. It's this whole thing, it's whatever. But that is how I figured out I have vaginismus. If you think you have vaginismus, go get a pap smear, go do your well woman's exam, and your doctor will either confirm and or deny. If she is able to do that exam, you probably don't have vaginismus, you're probably just scared to fuck, you're scared to have sex. If you have a vaginismus, at least from my personal experience and all of the personal experiences that I've communicated with, that shit does not go in. You have vaginismus if that little speculum, whatever it's called, it will not go in, and that will be all you need to know, Miss Honey, Miss Thing. Okay, so I feel like I covered all the bases. What is vaginismus? Signs that you may have vaginismus. How I was officially able to determine if I have vaginismus. I love throughout the video the decrease of natural light. This is a random separate rant, but if you ever go to film a video of any kind, this shit is not for the weak. I film once, oh, the mic's not working. I try again, oh, the camera is dead. Oh, I try again, now the SD card is full. I try again, oh, it's just been, this just series of disaster just for me to sit on a chair and talk about my vagina. The lighting that I have, on. It's been, this is too much. This is a lot. So I hope I stick with it. In upcoming videos, I want to talk about my, guide and my approach to healing my vaginismus one physical therapy lesson at a time, just like to quickly get into it. Dilator work, physical therapist. A dilator is essentially just like a series of medical dildos starting from like 2 inches to 3 to 4, and then as they get bigger in inches and length, they also get bigger in width. And so with the help of your physical therapist, they'll do kind of finger exams. Essentially, your physical therapist will finger you, and they'll hit on the pressure points around your vagina just to loosen up. And the purpose is to get your body comfortable with this idea of something going inside it. Starting off with 1 finger, getting into multiple fingers. This sounds ridiculous, but that is the key to curing the vaginismus, is doing physical therapy and doing your dilator work at home. And you may not even need a physical therapist. I mean, and throughout my videos, I'm sure I could, help you out for free, because that shit ain't cheap, and not all of us have insurance. And then if we do have insurance, it don't cover fucking broken vagina medicalology, so I can help you. Anticipate the videos to come, but I feel like I've just been talking for so long and I'm irritated with myself, and this has been a lot of work. Like I said, I'm a victim of vaginismus. My life has, been hard enough, and I don't feel like I should be under this kind of stress. I feel like it's been a lot, and I'm gonna go watch Housewives or Drag Race or anything else and stop doing this. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop talking and wrap it up with that. Yeah, vaginismus is hard. It produces really just shitty emotions, shame, insecurity, all these things, but also on a brighter side of things, vaginismus produces community. It produces knowledge, because there are so many people out there suffering with this, and then just people being open and just exploring and navigating this kooky ass disorder together is something that's really beautiful. It produces intention. I'll talk about this in later videos, but there's been, you know, a handful of opportunities where I could have been intimate with someone who just fully did not deserve that from me, who would not have been protective or guarding, you know, my heart, my body in a way that I would have liked. But thankfully in Vaginismus, it didn't get that far. And so it produces intention, it produces patience, and then it produces this extreme comfort with yourself to navigate your body and what you like and what makes you comfortable. It allows you to communicate, you know, with your partner about things that are hurting or don't feel the best, things that feel, you know, decent, things. It's a process, and it really allows you to know, like, somebody who genuinely cares about you and who wants to work with you at doing this intimate act, rather than just giving your body away with no intention, for whatever the case may be. So that has been my own personal kind of come to Jesus moment with this thing that has been thrust upon me, thrust upon us, that isn't the best. So stick around, we'll have fun, we'll talk, we'll chat, and we'll really figure out some ways to find confinement within each other, within Vaginismus. Well, this has been a long, chaotic journey, but I suppose this concludes the very first episode of the Vaginismus vlog for us girlies with vexed vaginas with stage fright.
Vagina, vagina, vagina.